There are two types of bra wearers in the world. There are those that put their bra on at the front and then will do it up at the back. And there are those who will do it up at the front and twizzle it round to the back. Now the majority of the people who have their bras twizzled round will say that it's because they don't have the shoulder flexibility to be able to put it on. So here's Lynda with a few exercises to improve that shoulder flexibility.
As you can see on my left arm, I can reach very high up my back to in between the scapula, but my right arm is really only reaching to about waist level. So here we have supination, pronation, good posture. Shoulder blades are pointing up towards the ceiling, and we are going to gradually increase the size of the movement. So that's internal, external rotation at the shoulders, working into that rotator cuff, and then single arm, palm down as you close, palm up as you open. So getting that range of movement, keeping that body fairly still, fairly straight whilst you're doing this. And again, seeing how far you can reach from one side of the body to the other arm. So making sure that we are doing both sides so we have a comparison for each arm. Palm up, palm down, all within pain-free range, or just taking it to that area that you may feel discomfort but not actually going into pain. So this is called scaption. So it's thumb up into like a Y position at the front, so you're wide of the shoulders, little fingers to the back. Again, internal, external rotation. So you don't want the palms to come right the way up at the front. You are just working it into that thumb and slight external rotation of thumbs. Here we have a paddle. So this paddle, you can vary the amount of resistance that you're putting through it. So I think there's 5 ratchets, so you can have one side open, one side closed. Also very good for rehabilitation for people who play golf or tennis, a sort of unilateral movement. So again, we're just adding a little bit of drag to this movement. So it's lubricating that shoulder joint, reaching across. So still only working at the sort of surface of the water, really. We can take it deeper, but again, once you do that, you're changing the muscle group slightly. So it depends on what you're actually targeting and what you're trying to get to. So here we have closed the paddle, and you can now see the difference. There's a lot more movement in the water. You're creating a lot more drag. So as you start to increase that range of movement, we can start to close that paddle. And again, you can take it deeper, and then you can also take it so that it's actually the full surface area against the water. So here you can see that I've got it at a slight angle, so not quite as resistive, but you can have it flat onto the water, so it's absolutely vertical. So much, you can see here now I've changed the angle slightly. So again, a much sort of deeper and harder drag for this. So you then can take it behind the back. So the paddle goes up the wrist, up the forearm to keep that stable. So here we're sort of opening up through the anterior aspect of the shoulder. And then if you struggle, you can also use a pole. So this is quite a nice one. This can be done out of the water as well as in the water. So just moving the pole from side to side. So especially if you're sort of having issues with actually lifting the shoulder. So you can see here that my left side is a lot more difficult to move at this particular angle. So here we are now taking the pole up. So I'm using my lower arm to move my upper arm. So you're taking the arm as far as you can behind the back, but you're also using that lower arm to drive the upper arm up. So I think here you can really see that I've got issues in both shoulders. Here using something slightly different. This is a vibrating pole. It's actually like a noodle with almost a broom handle inside it. So you can get the vibration through the water as well as it moves. But again, doing the same sort of exercise as you did with the broom handle, sorry. But much cheaper, obviously, for a broom handle. So changing the grip, changing the hold, changes the angle. So just using it to drive up. So here we've got a dumbbell. So this is very buoyant. So it's a real effort to pull down. So working on the lats, pulling down again, because you're using the pole or the dumbbell in front of you and with both hands, you actually are assisting if you have limited range of movement. So you can drive it through the water the same as we did with the broom handle. This is anteriorly done. Just make sure that you're not sort of collapsing into your legs as well. And then we can use it sort of like a rowing action. Again, increasing that range of movement all the time. Mobilizing that joint. Every angle conceivable that your shoulder can move in, you want to actually target. Not just going flexion, extension, abduction, adduction. You do want that internal, external rotation as well. So pushing it down, squeezing those rhomboids. You can then extend with control. If you're unable to do this and control the movement, then don't. Again, bringing it down, hand grip changed. Opening up that anterior part of the shoulder. So opening up the chest. Don't allow the shoulders to come up to your ears. So a nice space between the ears and the shoulders. Now a wider grip. If that narrow grip is a little bit difficult, we can just take our hands to the end. Wider grip. Oh, you could see there a little bit of a wobble on my right shoulder. So it's not wanting to actually rotate correctly. So here we can see I've got an increased range of movement through just doing those simple exercises.